The month of Elul, the month of Elul teaches us that we are being called into a field of rachamim. We are being called into a field of compassion. That the whole month, every day of the month, every fiber of the month calls us into a field of rachamim. And the month calls us to stretch into the imaginative possibility that the divine mystery, the divine life force, the infinite presence is calling to us with so much love and saying to us, Hineni, I am right here and I am holding you in the embrace of Rachamim. I am holding you in the embrace of Rachamim. The mind can chatter, rebel, question, and doubt, and the mystery is steadfast and strong. I am calling you and holding you in a field of Rachamim. Come out to be with me. Come out to be with me. I am here to hold you in a field of rachamim, in a field of love. The mystery says, how do you prepare for the new year through the month of Elul? How do you prepare to go into the unknown mystery? You begin, the mystery calls, the tradition calls, you begin by sitting in a field of rachamim. You begin by sitting in a field of rachamim for the sake of yourself and for the sake of each other and all the world. You begin by sitting in a field of rachamim. So we rise from rachamim into the new year and we seed the new year with rachamim, with compassion. So we do this practice for ourselves and we do this practice for all beings. So we're going to begin today in this last week of Elul to sit in and with a field of rachamim, a great field of compassion that no matter what doubts arise, no matter what the mind story creates and badgers and scowls, the infinite presence, the mystery is steadfast. Hineni, the mystery calls, I am holding you with rachamim. Hineni, I am holding you with rachamim. So let's take our seats, bringing ourselves to an awake and upright posture. The attention gently on our breath. And use the energy and the forces of the sacred imagination, held by our chair or cushion. I am in a field of rachamim. I am sitting in a field of rachamim. With each breath, I am embraced by steadfast, strong, expansive love and compassion. Doesn't matter the stories the mind tells. It doesn't matter the doubts that arise in the body and the mind. The mystery calls. Hineni, here I am. I'm holding you in love. You are sitting in a field of rachamim. So with each breath, let the imagination flourish. With each breath, the experience of rachamim. We sit in a field of rachamim to nourish and strengthen our own hearts and souls and beings. And we sit in a field of rachamim. So we rise from this field and place rachamim in the rosh of the new year. We do this practice for ourselves, and we dedicate this practice for the good and the love of all being. Each time the mind wanders, good to notice an opportunity to do tshuva, to return to awareness and presence, and to return to the field of rachamim. Each time we notice the mind has wandered, we do tshuva, we return to the breath, and we can return to the vibration of rachamim. Let that word vibrate in our hearts and souls. Let that word rachamim bring the awareness that together we're sitting in a field of rachamim. Let's sit together. We'll sit for about 15 minutes or so in this field of rachamim. Mystery calls, Hineni. Sit with me in a field of compassion. The infinite presence calls, Hineni, here I am. I embrace you with love. Hineni, here I am. Come, sit with me in a field of Rachamim. Let infinite Rachamim nourish your heart and soul. Let infinite Rachamim come through you, seeding the Rosh into the new year. Amen. Invite us to just take a stretch here. Take a nice stretch. A stretch into the field of Rachamim. However the stretch goes, it's a nice stretch. We get ready for the second sit, which so we begin in a field of Rachamim, where the infinite presence calls, Hineni, here I am. And then the tradition, the mystics say, then we step into the field and we say, Hineni, here I am. We say, Hineni, here I am. Here I am. Here I am with all of myself. Here I am with the parts of myself that I love and just cherish. And here I am with the parts of myself that are difficult and that I might even feel embarrassed or ashamed by. Here I am. I bring my full self to this moment. Here I am. I bring my full self to the shores of the new year. Here I am. I bring my full self, and I am the offering in this, in all that I am, in all that I am. We don't have to we can go, we can be with all that we are. We don't have to be these feel like we have to be these perfect creatures. We are offerings in the beautiful imperfection, or I don't even know imperfection, in just the beautiful complexity, the beautiful complexity that we are. And as we come into this last week of Elul, the last week of 5783, and we get ready to step into 5784, we practice saying Hineni. We practice calling ourselves present. We practice saying, Hineni, here I am in all my complexity, in everything that I carry from, way back, with everything that I carry. Here I am. And here I am. And I am the offering. I am my offering for the sake of the mystery and all life. And the sense of Hineni that I want to invite here is a sense of worthiness, of the fullness that we are, and also that sense of deep humility that wow, Hineni, and I am my offering. I am my offering to you. I am my offering to the great mystery. Right? We begin in a field of Rachamim where the divine presence says, Hineni, I'm right here holding you with Rachamim. I am steadfast and true. No matter what you're feeling or anything, I'm holding you with Rachamim. And then the soul is called to respond, Hineni, here I am. Here I am with everything that I am. And I am my prayer to you. I am my offering. So as we get ready to go into this sit, I invite you, if you're able, to stand. If you can't stand, if it's too much of a thing, you could do it sitting. But I invite you to stand if you can. And I invite us together to take a deep bow. To take a deep bow. And to take a deep bow like a couple of times, maybe 3 times. Hineni, here I am. Hineni, here I am in all that I am, in all that I am. Hineni, and I am my offering to you. I bring myself present. Hineni, here I am. I am my offering into the great mystery. Here I am. I am my offering into the unfolding of all. Hineni, here I am. And one more deep bow. And we stand tall. And let's take our seats. Bringing ourselves to the awake and upright posture. And set the intention to call ourselves present. Hineni, here I am. A call from our ancestors. A call from our souls. Hineni, here I am. Let this call travel with the breath. Use Hineni as a mantra. Let it repeat again and again. Let it vibrate in the system. And each time we notice the mind has wandered, which it will do a trillion times in these 20 minutes, right? A trillion times. That's okay. It's good to notice, and an excellent opportunity to do tshuva, to return to awareness and to return to presence. To return to awareness and to return to presence. Hineni, here I am. We'll sit together for about 20 minutes. And the invite is to gently stand again, or you can do it in your seats. But to gently stand if you're able. And again, to bow again. Hineni, here I am. Hineni, with all that I am, and the complexity of my nefesh, my neshama, my ruach, and the complexity of my very being. Hineni, here I am. And one more time. Hineni, here I am. I am my offering into the unfolding mystery. Hineni, here I am. And let's take a good stretch. Wherever it feels good to stretch. And when you feel ready, one final bow as we take our seats. Hineni, here I am, a creature among creatures. Here I am, Hineni, here I am, and I am my blessing to you. I am my blessing into the unfolding mystery. We place Hineni in the Rosh. We place the call to be present and to bring ourselves present with all that we are. So the expression of the life force that we are can shine into the world for good. Hineni, here I am. So the trajectory in this last week of the year, the end of Elul, we bring awareness to sitting in the field of Rachamim. We practice saying Hineni, and we practice listening to and for Kol Bereshit, the voice, the calls of the beginning, the voice of vibrations, the stirrings of creation. And Jay asked, and understandably, right? It's Shabbat. Rosh Hashanah is on Shabbat, first day. We don't hear the shofar. And there's a call to listen into the Aleph, to listen into the sounds before creation, to listen into the silence before creation. And yes, for sure. And I was for sure 100%. And I was also feeling that for me, I don't know, it just felt helpful for as humans. I'm feeling this for myself, so this is what I'm offering, that in this moment, in this time, that perhaps there was also a need for more than the silence. And so I really what I want to invite is listening to the voices, the calls, the Kol Bereshit, the voices, the vibrations of creation, the stirrings of creation, the voices, the Kol Bereshit, the voices of the created world coming to be renewed and calling to us. And we look at the traditional biblical creation story. As creation unfolds, and carried by the Ruach Elohim, carried by the Ruach, the source of all, is the call Ki Tov. It is good. The call Ki Tov, at the heart, at the soul of the core of creation. Ki Tov, and Mindy's putting the these words into the chat so you can see it, the transliteration. And there's this sense here. We come to the field of Rachamim. God says Hineni, and we answer Hineni too. And then we open ourselves to hear Kol Bereshit, the voice, the call, the vibrations, the stirrings of creation, the stirrings of earth and trees and plants and sky and waters and rocks and sun and moon, the vibrations of Ki Tov, the vibrations, and it is good. The vibrations of Tov, the vibrations of goodness. And we listen to this, so it reverberates in our hearts and souls, and we reflect this. And we carry this with us into creation, into the creation of the world, right? Into the creation, into the creation, into the unfolding of creation. We hear it, and then it echoes in our system, and we align with Ki Tov. And as I was preparing this and sitting with it myself, it was like the mind went crazy. You have got to be kidding me. You have, the arguments that the mind brought. This is good. Look at this world. This is good. The arguments that the mind brought. And I felt like, yeah, okay, yes, and Kol Bereshit, Ruach Elohim, the source, the call of the source, the Ruach, the source of all, the Ruach that flows through all creation, is calling Ki Tov. I mean, I look at a tree, yeah, Ki Tov, right? I look at a tree, I look at the plants, I look at the elements, and Ki Tov. It is good. And I know I don't mean this in a mamby-pamby kind of way that, all is good. Not at all. But I mean this as like listening on Shabbat Bereshit, I mean, not Shabbat, Shabbat, Rosh Hashanah Shabbat, to listen to Kol Bereshit, the Ruach Elohim calling Ki Tov, and let that vibrate in us and let that vibrate with us so that we are instruments and we vibrate with Tov, with goodness, whatever that means, and that the trees and the sky and the birds and the waters are calling Ki Tov, Ki Tov, Ki Tov. And that perhaps for us to hear this vibration and vibrate with this vibration, that we place this in the Rosh for ourselves and for each other, so we enter into the new year aligned with and vibrating with the goodness that is at the core of creation. We align with the goodness, the vibration, the goodness that is the core of creation. So that's what we bring into the world with every action, with all that we do. And the mind could say, this is ridiculous. You've got to be kidding. Okay, that's the mind story. And we don't have to follow that. We can listen. And be perhaps moved and changed and transformed by the vibration of Kitov. So we're going to sit with this. So I invite you again to we invite ourselves to take our seats and place, to maybe begin by placing our hands on our hearts. And with our hands on our hearts, to say in our own, mind and body and heart, Kitov, Kitov, Kitov. And then with palms out and open, and then repeat in the heart and the mind, Kitov, Kitov, Kitov. And then with the arms stretched wide and raised if you can. Kitov, Kitov, Kitov. Then back to the heart space. Gently with rachamim, with compassion, and with presence. Let's set the intention to listen to Kol Bereshit, to the voice of beginnings, to the stirrings of creation, to the Kol, to the voice that comes through the trees and the birds, the waters and the sky. Kitov, Kitov, Kitov. Bring our hands down to a place that's rests comfortably with our upright posture. And the attention gently on the breath. And gently repeat and kind of imagine this is, just listen, let repeat in the mind and the heart, the body. Kol Bereshit that says Kitov, Kitov, Kitov. And as the mind objects and as the stories persist, it's good to notice. We do tshuva. We return to the breath and return to the stirrings of creation. Kol Bereshit, Kitov, Kitov, Kitov. We do this intention. We do this sit for the sake of each other and all life. We'll sit together for about 15 minutes. Kol Bereshit, the call of the beginnings. Kol Bereshit, the stirrings of creation. Kol Bereshit, the call from the trees, the earth, the skies, and waters. Kitov, Kitov, Kitov. Goodness, it is good. It is good, it is good. Kol Bereshit, creation calling to us humans. See the good, so you can be the good for each other and all life. Amen. So we come to time to take a nourishment break. We've been nourished by the meditation, but now it's time to take a nourishing break of stretching or eating, laying down, taking a little walk, whatever is, true for you, whatever is true for you. We'll come back at let's see, 10 after the hour. We'll come back at 10 after the hour. And I just, this is a time to stay in the practice. If we're going to be eating or drinking, to be eating and drinking with mindfulness, say thank you for the tea, thank you for the piece of fruit, thank you for the water, whatever it is. I know it's not a long time, but let's try to move slowly and just be gentle in this transition, and let the practice carry us. Let the practice of noticing and being just stay with us. And one other thing I wanted to just mention, and we'll talk about this after the break as well, is that for me, there was 3 sits, and I noticed that, that they were different in vibration, and that some of them were more difficult and some of them were easier. And it was interesting for me to notice that the Hineni was difficult for me, where the Ki Tov was just like, I was really surprised by how beautiful that felt. And so just to notice without, just with curiosity and without judgment and even without story, just to notice. And I'm mentioning it because it was surprising to me. It was surprising to me. So we'll take a little break. We'll be back together at 10 after the hour. We'll begin with some questions, and then we'll go back into some practice, and there'll be an opportunity to do some writing. So you might want to gather a book, a journal, and there will also be an opportunity to take a little walk if you so desire. So you might want to gather something for that. All right, lots of love, everybody, and see you soon.